Hi everyone, I'm Shannon with Chinatown Vegas. As the first one to break the news, as I'm standing here at Jade Promenade, a $40 million retail center is coming to Las Vegas Chinatown. I'm here standing with Ali of Platinum Realty, who is the real estate developer as well as the vision behind the Jade Promenade. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
When did you first start planning what is now known as Jade Promenade, and what made this specific site along Spring Mountain the right fit?
We actually started January of this year, so next month will be exactly 1 year since we started working on this project. The first few months we were working on our zoning and utilities and our due diligence, and about May of this year, that's when we started our design for the site plan. As far as the location, I always think that Chinatown is the hottest real estate in Las Vegas after the Strip. So when I saw the opportunity to be able to do something in Chinatown as retail or apartments, I knew this was like a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I grabbed it and got going on it.
You had a great vision. And
Thank
what
you.
does Jade Promenade mean to you? And how does the name reflect the identity of Chinatown Vegas?
So we really wanted to make sure we have a name that obviously connects with our Asian community. Jade obviously is very significant in the Asian culture, so that's why we called it Jade. And because of the way we have with our design, we created something like a promenade where people can walk around. Our sidewalks are 25 feet wide in some areas. We have a big, huge dining area in the middle, outdoor dining, about 10,000 square feet of opening. So we put the promenade name right after J to, give that Asian culture feeling and also make sure people understand this is not your typical shopping center. This is more like a promenade, like the district or like Third Street Promenade in Santa Monica, something in that nature.
Awesome. So your early plan shows that there are 6 buildings connected by a central pedestrian corridor. Is there any changes so far?
So there are no changes. However, we started designing this with having a typical like a L shape or a U shape shopping center. But I gotta give the credit and shout out to my designer. It's called Mehraz Studio Inc. He's the one who came up with the idea of kind of splitting this and putting stores on both sides and opening it up with sidewalks and dining area and outdoor area, and that's kind of how we ended up with this layout.
And connecting Spring Mountain to Pioneer Avenue is a very smart design choice. And what kind of unique experience are you envisioning for visitors who can use this as a new pedestrian corridor?
So because this is going to be a new pedestrian corridor, county major project, they are widening Spring Mountain sidewalk. I think they're going to start on that sometime next year. I think it only made sense that we follow the same pattern, make ours also more pedestrian friendly. We want to create something where people come, dine, and be able to go have a dessert or a boba tea or something. We want it more to be than a typical shopping center where you come in and grab something and go. We want it to be something that people come and actually hang out. Again, like the district or town square or even Mall of Summerlin, something in that nature.
Who is a target visitor, you think? Locals, tourists, or both?
Both. I think, with our close vicinity to the Strip, we're only a mile and a half from Las Vegas Boulevard. So Chinatown gets a lot of tourists here, and we're hoping to grab some of them to come to our plaza. That's why we're creating bus stops inside where a bus can actually come and park. We're also going to have Uber and Lyft stations because I've noticed even in other businesses here in Chinatown, there's a lot of Ubers, and I see people walking around with like a little luggage. They're probably out there, grabbing something to eat before they catch a flight back home. So, and also we have a big Asian community here, and I think the locals will be a huge following.
And what kind of exciting dining and retail partners are you hoping to bring in to fill these 6 buildings? And what kind of unique concepts are we looking forward to see?
I think food will be our primary source of tenants here. We're hoping to get some national tenants, restaurants, and we also like to have some local favorites. There are a lot of local favorites here in town, especially on Chinatown. Like China Mama has 2 or even 3 locations, I think, within this vicinity. So we're hoping to have both of them come in and fill up the center and again create that atmosphere where people just come and hang out for
That
a
is
long time.
really exciting. And you're planning a second phase with residential units, which is a huge commitment to the area. How do you see the retail and the residential components working together to create a complete thriving community?
So when you have a retail area, it's always good to have beneficial to have apartments next to it, because if you're living in an apartment, you just decide to come down and go grab a tea or coffee or dinner or a bobo or dessert. So I think that really goes well. Again, another example of that would be downtown Summerlin, where they built some apartments over there. Same thing with the district. So I think, once we build the retail side, I think an apartment would be people wanting to live here because of the close proximity to Art Center, Jade, to other restaurants in Chinatown, and close proximity to Las Vegas Boulevard.
I see. And now, do you plan to engage some of the existing Chinatown stakeholders like business owners, advocates, and community groups in this planning process?
Yes, we're always looking to engage with our community here and get their feedback. We're always talking to different people and trying to see, what they think. Obviously, this is a cultural thing, so but it's always a feedback, or talking to them would always be helpful for us. My shout out would go to Mehraz Studios Inc. That's the company, that's the person who came up with our design, which I think is a unique design with our layout. And we didn't do your typical, L-shaped shopping center. So that would be my shout out.
It's just been very creative.
Yes, very creative.
The community is very eager to see the project coming to life. So let's assume that there's a positive outcome from the county commission. What is the most optimistic timeline for breaking grounds and opening the door for the first time?
We have already started on architectural plans and also our civil studies. Our drainage study will be submitted to the county probably sometime in January. The way I see it, I think by fourth quarter of 2026, we should be able to break ground and have all the permits.
What are some of the realistic milestones that you actually envision at this point?
The challenges when it comes to development, you have two challenges. One is acquisition of the site, and two is financing. So when you have those two, usually the rest of it goes pretty smooth. We already are in the acquisition. We're getting that done, so that's already done. And once we do that, once we secure our construction financing, those two factors pretty much cover 80% of your challenges, and we're already halfway there. We're not carrying any debt on the land. We're buying it cash. I'm a survivor of 2008 market crash, so I'm very careful with that, not to carry too much debt. And I think once we have that with the location we have and tenants that we are going to sign soon, I think getting a construction financing to go vertical should not be a challenge.
I'm Shannon Yang with Chinatown Vegas. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We will be keeping you updated on all the new projects coming to Las Vegas Chinatown.